After rebirth, the firefighter husband chose to save his first love. When the house caught fire, the firefighter husband called everyone to save his first love who committed suicide. I didn't call my husband, and calmly watched my carefully decorated home being burned down by the fire. In the previous life, he answered my call first and came to save me who was pregnant. His first love had a depression attack and jumped from the 18th floor, and her face was completely unrecognizable. My husband said that he didn't regret saving me and the child, and held the wedding as scheduled. But on the wedding day, he broke my legs and pressed me in front of the tombstone of my first love. The fire at home was not big at all. Nina, you deliberately sent me away, so that I didn't even see her for the last time. Lily is so kind, why didn't you die? When I opened my eyes again, I returned to the day when the house caught fire. This time, he wanted to save his first love, so let him go. I decided to give up. The thick smoke billowed, and I choked and coughed, so I quickly took out my phone and called 119. The voice that answered the phone was very familiar to me. Sister-in-law, Alex said you would call, I didn't expect you to call. The person on the other end of the phone was Andy, my fiancé Alex's comrade in arms and his good brother. Andy, there's a fire at my house, please send someone over quickly. As he was speaking, the wooden wardrobe next to him was burned and cracked and collapsed. The flaming wood rubbed against my skin, and the burning pain made me gasp and hiss softly. At the critical moment, Andy spoke in a brisk tone, not taking my words to heart at all. Sister-in-law, stop pretending. Alex has told me that you must be jealous because you knew he went to save his first love, so you called the police. Sister-in-law, to tell you the truth, there are not many people in the team now, so don't make a fuss. After all, it's a matter of life and death over there. You and Alex are about to get married. It's hurtful to always think about it. The fire was getting bigger and bigger. I didn't want to listen to Andy's sermon anymore, so I hung up the phone directly. I didn't care what he would think. Looking at this house that once carried 5 years of memories between Alex and me, I sighed and reached out to touch my belly. I didn't expect to be reborn to this moment. This fire also happened in my previous life. At that time, I called my fiancé Alex directly. He rushed to put out the fire with a group of people. His first love Lily called him more than a dozen times, but he didn't hear it. Later, we learned that Lily had a depression attack that day and jumped from the 18th floor. After surviving the disaster, when I hugged Alex and cried, he said he didn't regret saving me and the baby in my belly. Our wedding was held as scheduled. I wore my beloved Nina's wedding dress and married the man I had been with for more than 5 years. I was so happy that I thought I was going to start a new life, but he gave me a blow. Alex broke my leg and the blood stained my wedding dress, but he turned a blind eye and drove me to the place where Lily jumped off the building, and made me kneel down to apologize to her. But I really don't know what I did wrong. Alex is my fiancé and the father of the child in my belly. Why did he choose to save me? But it became my fault. Alex didn't care about these. His eyes were red, like a madman who lost his beloved. The fire at home was not big at all. Nina, you deliberately sent me away, so that I didn't even see her for the last time. If I hadn't seen Lily's diary, I wouldn't know you are such a vicious woman. Her depression is also caused by you. Lily is so kind, why didn't you die? I have no idea what he is talking about. But Alex is really crazy. You should also experience the feeling of losing someone you care about. My heart-wrenching cries did not inspire him with the slightest sympathy. He dragged me like a dead dog and locked me in a dark room. I begged him to let me go and questioned him about our 5-year relationship. Alex, however, showed no emotion and even poured gasoline in the room. My last memory was that he looked down at me, as if we were not newlyweds but enemies with deep hatred. He took out a lighter and lit the gasoline. I feel sick when I think about being with a vicious woman like you for the past 5 years. Don't you like to trick me home by starting a fire? Just experience what it feels like to be burned to death. Of course it hurts to be burned to death. I still can't forget the pain that went deep into my bones. And now, I am still facing the crisis of being burned to death. I thought that if I didn't call Alex, I wouldn't repeat the mistakes of my previous life. But I didn't expect that he would do it so decisively and directly told his teammates that I was acting. My lower abdomen was cramping, as if the baby in my belly was reminding me how ruthless this man was. Alex and I have been together for 5 years. This house was bought 2 years ago and used as our wedding house. Although it is an old neighborhood and the apartment is not big, I don't care. Alex and I are just ordinary working class people. It is not easy to buy a house and own a home in City A where every inch of land is valuable. My parents died early, and what I want most is to have a happy family. When we were in love, Alex promised me countless times that he would make me happy, and I really believed it. Every piece of furniture in the house was selected by him and me. The flowers planted on the balcony were also carefully taken care of by me. I watered it with love and made it the warm place I imagined. But just like the suddenly aged wire, the relationship between Alex and I had already gone wrong. In every day when I thought I was going smoothly, there were huge hidden dangers. I calmly took out the album that I cherished very much, which contained all the photos of Alex and I in the past 5 years. He used to joke with me that this album should be passed down well and shown to our children. But now, in just a second, the paper album was burned to ashes in the fire. The fire was getting bigger and bigger, and the flames seemed to be overwhelming, burning the wooden bedroom door, the bed, and the curtains, rushing towards me. At this moment, my only way out seemed to be the window. I quickly climbed out, stood on the air conditioner outside, and held the hot window with both hands. I knew that the crisis was far from over. This is the 5th floor. Although it is not high, I am pregnant. If I fall down, it is really hard to say what the outcome will be. Many people have gathered downstairs, all of them are residents nearby. At a glance, there are many familiar faces. Seeing me crawling out of the house, these neighbors downstairs are anxious. Hold on tight. Don't let go. We've called the fire department. Even though some of them have only met me once, they are so concerned about my safety at this moment. But Alex, who has been with me day and night for more than 5 years, nearly 2,000 days and nights, can be so indifferent. I smiled bitterly and once again realized what it means to meet the wrong person. With more people calling, Andy from the fire department finally realized that something was wrong. 1 or 2 people could still be called a false alarm, but with so many people calling, and getting more and more anxious, he was at a loss. Almost all the members of the fire department were taken to rescue Lily by Alex using his power. Even if Andy wanted to go out on the police, no one would go with him. The neighbors downstairs waited and waited, but the fire department didn't come. And I upstairs was already a little shaky. The pain in my lower abdomen made me pale, and my body couldn't stop shaking. My hands were also burned and blistered, and I couldn't hold on to the railing. Amid the exclamations of everyone, I couldn't hold on any longer and fell backwards. In a trance, I suddenly remembered the time when I was with Alex. We met on a blind date, and we unexpectedly hit it off when we first met. Neither he nor I eat chili peppers, nor do we like things with strong flavors. We both love watching movies and documentaries, and we like to raise plants and cats and dogs. I used to think that Alex and I were a match made in heaven, and I also wishfully thought that Alex thought so too. After all, he was considerate to me, and even swore in front of the tombstone of my parents who died early that he would treat me well for the rest of his life. I never thought that Alex would have someone in his heart. Everyone said that Alex loved me very much, and I foolishly believed it. Until Lily, Alex's first love, came back from abroad. That night when it was raining heavily, she called Alex who had already gone to bed. Alex ignored my obstruction, put on his clothes and walked out. Perhaps from that time on, I should have seen how important Lily was to Alex. Instead of being soft-hearted and believing that he was her only support just because he explained lightly that she had depression, Lily could obviously go to the doctor, take medicine, and find someone else's fiancé, so what? Every time it was always late at night, a man and a woman alone. I don't believe she had no other intentions. But Lily also added me as a friend through Alex's matchmaking. The two of them became more and more confident, saying that there was nothing wrong between them, afraid that I would misunderstand. But Lily, who was pure and kind in Alex's mouth, always sent me some ambiguous pictures inadvertently. Sometimes it was the screen of watching a movie together. Sometimes it was Alex's back as he cooked for her. Sometimes it was Alex's side profile when he was tired and fell asleep, and the two of them holding hands together. I had quarreled with Alex because of these provocative photos. But every time, he just rubbed his temples tiredly, as if I was making a fuss. Nina, I'm really tired. I just don't want Lily to commit suicide. There's really nothing between her and me. Can you stop making a fuss? Now thinking about his reaction after Lily's death, it doesn't seem like nothing happened at all. He could even do such a crazy thing as killing me and his child for Lily. I lived a new life, and he forced me into a desperate situation again. There was no more luck in my heart. Alex never loved me. I made a mistake. I was lucky. When I fell, many kind-hearted neighbors reached out to catch me, so that I didn't fall to the ground and break on the spot. But despite this, I was pregnant and the impact was still not small. The blood under my body could not stop flowing. When Andy finally called a few colleagues who were on vacation to come, this was what they saw. I was surrounded by people, my face was pale, and my body was burned in many places. The white dress I was wearing was stained red, which was very creepy. He pushed through the crowd and rushed in, a little flustered. Sister-in-law? How could this happen? Didn't Alex say you were acting? The pain in my lower abdomen made me have no strength. I gasped and looked at him coldly. Your entire fire brigade only listens to Alex? Whatever he says is the truth? The neighbors were also scolding. How do you work? You are irresponsible at all. You came after waiting for almost an hour. That's right, the fire is so big, if someone is really burned to death, can you bear the responsibility? She is a pregnant woman. Now the situation doesn't look good. Andy was scolded and couldn't speak. He knew he was in the wrong. He lowered his head and didn't dare to look at me. When the ambulance arrived, he took the initiative to follow me to the hospital. Along the way, he kept apologizing to me. I'm sorry, sister-in-law, I really didn't know this would happen. It's my fault, I trusted Alex too much. The nurse interrupted his endless chatter. Don't disturb the patient, she is in a very bad condition now. Are you her relative? Andy shook his head, and then heard the nurse say, why don't you contact the relatives quickly, what if they need to sign later? Andy then hurriedly called Alex. The call was quickly connected. Hello, Andy, is there something wrong? Andy probably wanted me to listen, so he turned on the hands-free mode. When I heard Alex's voice, I subconsciously shuddered. There was some noise from his end, as if a girl was crying. Andy didn't pay attention and told Alex the news of my accident. Alex, there is a real fire over there with my sister-in-law. She jumped from the building and is being rushed to the hospital. Come over quickly. You may be able to sign the documents later. He didn't expect that after hearing what he said. Alex sneered contemptuously, as if he saw through everything. Andy, how much money did Nina give you to cheat me with her? Even if it's true, my house is only on the 5th floor, how could she fall to her death? As Alex was talking, a delicate female voice rang out from the other end of the phone. Alex, is Nina in trouble? Why don't you go and accompany her? I can handle this alone. Don't worry, I won't jump off the building again. It's just that living is so tiring. The voice was obviously Lily's. Alex didn't even hang up the phone, and quickly comforted her. Nina is just pretending, what can happen to her? Be good, Lily, don't think too much, I won't leave, I'll stay here with you, okay? His tone was so gentle as if he was coaxing a child. I just felt disgusted after hearing this. He always believed whatever Lily said, and I was acting in everything. Such blatant double standards, how can he have the nerve to say he is innocent? Andy couldn't accept it either. Alex, this is your wife and child, you went to care about your first love's suicide, and didn't even care about your wife and child's life and death? Are you crazy? I don't know if he was afraid that Lily would hear it. Alex seemed to change his position to answer the phone. He was still a little angry when being criticized by his subordinates. Andy, where do you get the right to talk to me like this? She is not my wife in any way, we haven't got a marriage certificate, if you like her, go and talk to her yourself. Hearing this, Andy wanted to pull him out of the phone screen and beat him up. Alex, you are such a jerk. I shouldn't have believed you, Alex sneered. So what? She's such a coward, how can she really die? I just want her to pay a price, so she won't make trouble all the time. Hang up, don't bother me, I have to go accompany Lily. Andy wanted to curse again, but Alex hung up quickly, and he was so angry that he almost smashed the phone. Everyone in the car heard Alex's cold and ruthless words and cast sympathetic eyes at me. I took a deep breath. Even though I had already recognized how ruthless Alex was, I still inevitably felt a little pain in my heart. After all, those were my 5 years. Besides, I once loved him sincerely and was even ready to form a family with him. I gently touched my lower abdomen. Perhaps it was because of the mother-son connection, the intense pain just now seemed to have dissipated a lot, but the medical staff's face became paler and paler. The patient's blood pressure has dropped. Hurry, prepare for rescue. When I opened my eyes again, it seemed like a lifetime ago. I looked at the white ceiling and was stunned for a long time before I remembered what had happened before. My hand subconsciously touched my lower abdomen, but it was indeed flat. The belly that I used to feel heavy and even complained about was a bit cumbersome had disappeared at this moment. I didn't cry, but my face was a little itchy. I raised my hand to touch it and felt something wet. Alex's mother came back from outside the ward and saw that I woke up, so she quickly called the nurse over. She gently took my hand, her tone full of regret. Nina, you are still young, and you will have children in the future. I didn't say anything, but the hand I pulled back made my attitude clear. Auntie's face froze. I have always had a good relationship with her, but she is Alex's mother after all. Seeing that my attitude was much more distant, Auntie sighed. Nina, Auntie knows you have been wronged. You two have been dating for more than 5 years, and Auntie has witnessed it all the way. Now the wedding date has been set, it's really not easy. I don't have a daughter, and I have always treated you as a daughter. It's not what we wanted to happen. This time, Alex went too far. When he comes over, Auntie will definitely let him apologize to you, okay? I still didn't say anything, just staring at the ceiling. After a long time, I finally spoke. Auntie, you always say that you treat me like a daughter. If you really have a daughter, and your daughter encounters this kind of thing, will you forgive that man? If my parents were still alive, they would definitely not forgive Alex for treating me like this. Auntie, do you understand? I said it very bluntly, and Auntie froze, not knowing how to respond. To be fair, if she really had a daughter, she really wouldn't continue to persuade her daughter to be with someone like her son. He ignored his girlfriend and children and ran to take care of his first love. There is even no trace of him until now. Thinking of what Alex did, Auntie was so angry that she took out her phone and called Alex again. Where have you been? Didn't I tell you that Nina was in trouble and asked you to come to the hospital? Alex answered nonchalantly, Lily's foot was injured, I brought her here for a checkup. Nina is not going to die, why are you in such a hurry? His attitude made Auntie angry to death. Nina had a miscarriage. You still have the heart to accompany others, come here quickly. Miscarriage? How could she have a miscarriage? Mom, stop joking. Alex was like he had heard something very funny. Okay, Mom, I'll be there later. First Andy, then you, I really don't know what Nina has fed you. He hung up the phone with a mutter. Another hour later, I finally saw him. But there was another person following him. Who else could it be if not Lily? Lily was wearing a pink floral dress. The moment she saw me, she shrank behind Alex like a frightened bird. Alex, Nina's eyes are so scary. Alex immediately glared at me like a flower protector. Nina. How many times have I told you that Lily is a patient? Can you stop targeting her all the time? I was almost laughing out of anger. Auntie was also a little annoyed that she gave birth to such a blind son, and slapped Alex on the head. What did Nina do? She's still lying in bed. You're accusing her without knowing the truth. Do you know that she just had a miscarriage and is very weak now? Alex didn't say anything yet, just looked at me in surprise. Lily was a little impatient. What? Miscarriage? Did Nina have a miscarriage? It's all my fault. If I hadn't had this disease, I wouldn't have hurt Nina like this. Her eyes were red, and tears came. I have to admire Lily's acting skills. If those popular stars with sky-high pay could have such acting skills, many TV dramas would not be complained about. But some men probably like to make people want to protect them. I was not surprised to see Alex waver again. He didn't care about my feelings, but comforted Lily. How can you be blamed for this? Miscarriage was also her own carelessness. Besides, if she hadn't caused you to suffer from depression, you wouldn't have hurt yourself so many times. In the end, the current ending is all her own fault. I sneered and almost forgot about it. In the previous life, Alex said that he saw from Lily's diary that I made her depressed. I couldn't figure it out. Before I got together with Alex, I didn't know her. How could she be depressed? Hearing my voice, Alex frowned and walked in front of me, as if giving alms. Okay, you did suffer a little this time, but is it necessary to do this? You owed Lily. After the miscarriage, you can just get pregnant again. Why did you ask me to come over? I gently moved my wrist. Alex, can you come closer? I have something to discuss with you. Alex glanced at me in confusion, leaned over and slowly approached. Watching that face getting closer and closer to me, I used all my strength now and slapped him hard. Pa! After the crisp slap sounded, there was a dead silence in the ward. Alex's face was tilted to one side by my slap, and he looked at me in disbelief. He seemed to have never thought that I would be so ruthless to him. After looking at me for a moment, Alex's pupils trembled. The love and expectations I had when I looked at him before have disappeared without a trace. The look in his eyes now is no different from that of a stranger. Alex, let's break up. Alex subconsciously wanted to save the relationship, but when the words came to his lips, he smiled again. Nina, is this a new trick you have come up with? You think I will never break up with you? Let me tell you, playing hard to get is useless to me. My eyes became colder and colder. Alex is very confident. Indeed, my past gave him the confidence. Every time we quarreled about Lily, I would eventually compromise because I couldn't bear to break up. But he forgot that I compromised because I loved him and the baby in my belly. I compromised because I wanted a happy family. But now, the child is gone, a happy family is even more impossible, and I don't love him anymore. Why should I compromise again? Whatever you want to think, we haven't got the marriage certificate anyway. We bought the house together, and we each paid half for the decoration. Remember to give me the money. You can study the refund from the wedding planner yourself. I'll send you their WeChat in a while. After saying these words, I saw a little joy on Lily's face standing behind Alex. But Alex, who had his back to her, knew nothing and still stiffened his neck angrily. What do you mean? Are you really going to break up with me just because of this? Did you know what I do on the first day? I just didn't want to see a life disappear like this, so I helped Lily a little more. Why are you so aggressive? After accusing me again, Alex took a deep breath. Okay, your child is gone, and it's also an apology to Lily. I promise you that I will keep a distance from her in the future, okay? This can be regarded as Alex's concession to me. After all, I have quarreled with him so many times, but this is indeed the first time he said he would keep a distance from Lily. Lily, who was still secretly happy just now, felt a little embarrassed. She frowned and was about to start acting, but she froze when she saw my all-seeing, half-smile expression. I slowly said, Alex, you may have made a mistake. I don't have the habit of recycling garbage. Besides, you said I owed Lily so many times. I want to ask you, what did I do? Alex was stunned by my question, and then a bit of coldness flashed in his eyes. After you and I were together, didn't you investigate Lily? It was you who sent the email and let her foreign classmates bully her? If it wasn't for you, how could she suffer from depression because of being bullied? In my opinion, you should apologize to Lily. Alex thought he was on the side of justice, and his voice became louder and louder. But Lily looked embarrassed and stood there at a loss. Seeing her obviously guilty performance, I laughed my head off. So who told you about this? I sent an email abroad? What could I send to instruct her classmates to bully? Alex, I don't know whether to say you think too highly of me or look down on me too much. Alex was stunned, but soon seemed to remember something. I have seen your mailing records, there is an email sent abroad. The aunt who had been silent all the time spoke up. She looked at Alex, her eyes full of disappointment. I asked Nina to help me send it. Your aunt is a professor at that school, have you forgotten? Alex's face was pale. Impossible, Mom, why did you use email to contact your aunt? Don't you know that your aunt doesn't look at her phone when she is working, but only looks at the computer? Alex never thought that the truth would be like this. He turned stiffly and looked at Lily, who was already confused. Didn't you tell me at the beginning that Nina can't be blamed? It's because you didn't do well enough, making her feel insecure, so it's like this? So you just followed my words and blamed Nina? Lily didn't dare to look up at him. Alex pinched her shoulder. Go ahead. He put a lot of force on his hand, and Lily hissed in pain. She seemed to be frightened by him, and her eyes were red. Yes, I misunderstood. But I never said that the person who sent the email was Nina. She still tried to quibble, and the aunt next to her couldn't stand it anymore, so she called Alex's aunt overseas to ask about Lily. Lily? I know this student. She was exposed for having 5 or 6 men at the time. It seems that the men she found were all in a relationship. She was considered a celebrity in school. Later, she was caught cheating in exams several times, and she was expelled. Why are you asking about her? Auntie turned on the hands-free. Hearing the things she had done all over again, Lily collapsed. No, it's not like that, Alex, listen to my explanation. She tried to pull Alex's hand, but Alex shook it off. Alex looked at me, who was still weak on the bed, and smiled bitterly. Lily, it turns out that you were bullied because you were a mistress. How dare you put the blame on others? I actually believed your lies and hurt my own woman and child. Sensing the disgust in his eyes, Lily broke the jar and rushed to the window, sitting 1 foot outside the window, as if she was about to jump. Alex, you said you would protect me, do you regret it now? Her eyes were filled with tears, and she still looked pitiful. But this time, Alex did not feel pity as before. He looked at me with guilt. Nina, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I was blinded by her lies and did so many things to hurt you. But I really still love you, can you give me another chance? Before I could scold him, Lily, who was ignored for the first time, screamed. Alex. You said you love her? Then why did you sleep with me when you came to my house to accompany me the night before last? Are you a bitch? Alex's pupils trembled, and he didn't expect her to suddenly expose his past. He was trying to explain to me in a panic, but he saw that I looked calm, as if I was not surprised at all. I raised my eyebrows and said sarcastically, do you think I don't know? Your innocent and kind Lily always sends me photos, I told you a long time ago. Alex's eyes widened. In the past, he had an ambiguous relationship with Lily under the pretext of caring for her. After the truth was revealed, he could have said that he was deceived, but that is no longer possible. In my mocking eyes and the disappointed eyes of his aunt, Alex knew that his disguise had completely failed. He was completely stared at on the pillar of shame. Alex, who was angry and embarrassed, pointed his spearhead at Lily. Even if I sleep with you, isn't it you who seduced me? You called me over every night, and you even wore lace suspenders and got into my arms. I am a man full of blood. Bah, can you blame me for this? If you have the ability, don't you come every time you are called? Don't you know what you are thinking when you come every time? Lily was not to be outdone. The two people quarreled more and more, and they wanted to tear off each other's fig leaf and step on it. Lily was at the window at the beginning, and she was trying to continue to jump off the building to make Alex stand on her side. But now that the quarrel was so serious, she slipped down without paying attention. Her hands tightly grasped the window edge and shouted for help. Help! I don't want to die. Help! Everyone in the ward was dumbfounded. Alex, what are you doing? Help! I shouted, and Alex woke up as if from a dream, and reached out to grab Lily. But I don't know if it was retribution or something else. Lily lost her strength a second before he reached out, and fell down in fear. Bang was the sound of a heavy object falling. The person who always wanted to jump off the building to commit suicide finally died from falling from the building. I took a deep breath, feeling neither happy nor regretful. Because Lily fell to her death, several of us witnesses were investigated. After learning that she was planning to jump on her own initiative, the police went to retrieve her medical records. But the results showed that Lily had no disease at all. Her depression was a lie. Alex collapsed even more and showed the police the record of Lily crying and telling him that she wanted to jump off the building. If she's not depressed, does that mean all of this is false? The policeman nodded. From the descriptions of my aunt and I, they probably figured out the relationship between us. If what Alex did was not so outrageous, they would probably have some sympathy for him being deceived. But now I can only say that I deserve it. Because there is no surveillance in the ward, Alex's innocence cannot be proven. Lily's parents pestered him for a long time, and even the Lion asked him for 5 million yuan in compensation. The two families also had a quarrel for a long time. When Alex finally finished dealing with the messy things at hand, I quietly left the hospital on my own. When he called, I had even taken the high-speed train to other places. Nina, where have you been? I looked at the scenery outside the window and said in a calm tone, does it have anything to do with you? Alex, we have broken up. Alex was a little anxious. No, don't break up, okay? Nina, give me another chance. We have been together for 5 years and will get married soon. Nina, please, don't leave me. I scoffed. Stop acting. If you are so affectionate, why don't you think about me being pregnant when you are entangled with Lily? We have been together for 5 years and will get married soon. Besides, do you think what you did was just to cause me to miscarry? If I were even less lucky that day, no one would survive. Why do you think I will forgive you? Alex, I said, I won't want garbage. What's more, I already lost my life in your hands in my last life. This is the first time I mentioned my previous life in front of Alex. He was silent on the other end of the phone for a long, long time. It was so long that I was impatient to hang up the phone, and then Alex spoke. Nina, I didn't expect that you would be reborn too. There are quite a lot of things you didn't expect. I sneered, and a second before hanging up the phone, I heard him whisper, I'm sorry. He was silent for a long time on the other end of the phone, so long that I was about to hang up impatiently, and then Alex spoke. Nina, I didn't expect that you were also reborn. There are many things you didn't expect. I sneered, and the second before hanging up the phone, I heard him whisper, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, these are really the most useless 3 words. He killed my baby in my life, and wanted to get forgiveness with these 3 light words? Dream on. After knowing that I was also reborn, Alex didn't bother me anymore. But he didn't have the energy to bother me. After Andy and his colleagues in the fire department knew about the shit Alex did, they couldn't bear it anymore and reported to their superiors that he used his privileges and wasted all the police force to save his first love who was fake and depressed. There were also passers-by who heard the quarrel in the hospital that day and posted it online to describe it vividly. People love gossip, and Alex became popular on the internet, but everyone was scolding him. Due to online public opinion, the leader who originally appreciated Alex and only planned to suspend him from work directly fired him and recorded a serious warning. He could no longer show off in that uniform and do nothing like before. I was not hindered by these past events. After getting half of the money for the house, I returned to my hometown and opened a small dessert shop. Because the decoration is beautiful and there are many green plants, it has become a popular check-in spot in the small town. It can't be said that I made a lot of money, but food and clothing are definitely not a problem. A few years later, I bought a small house of 60 square meters in the small town. I live alone and have a cat and a dog, which is more than enough. The next time I heard about Alex, it was my aunt who called me. She cried and begged me to see Alex for the last time. It turned out that after Alex lost his job and broke up with me, he became confused. He suffered from severe depression, locked himself in the house every day, and got drunk. A week ago, my aunt and Uncle Lynn forced him to go out for a physical examination. Because of long-term day and night reversal and alcoholism, Alex was only 30 years old when he was diagnosed with advanced liver cancer. Perhaps he felt that living was a burden, or perhaps for some other reason, he drove away Aunt Lynn and Uncle Lynn and set himself on fire in our original house. Although he was rescued, he was already at the end of his strength. Mom, is that her? I heard a weak voice on the other end of the phone. The next second, the phone was handed to Alex. He was panting, as if breathing was painful. Nina, I understand now how painful it is. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Don't come over, I don't want you to see me like this. He chattered on the phone for a long time until he died. When my aunt picked up the phone, she found that I had hung up long ago. It's so unlucky to be involved in this thing. I slowly watered the flowers I bought. Vibrant and full of hope, this is my life.